Hello, welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen. I'm a certified weight loss and nutrition coach, and today we're talking about belly fat, specifically the lower belly fat and how to get rid of it. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, because I upload new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Down in the description box, I will link nutrition coaching where I offer personalized to you macros and calories. Cannot recommend this enough. It is how I've lost 138 pounds, as well as one-on-one coaching if you would like to chat with me directly. Links, discounts to my favorite healthy things are also down in that description box. So let's jump into talking about lower belly fat and how to get rid of it. I want to preface this video with you cannot spot fat reduce. So you can't go to the gym and say, I'm going to lose all the weight in my thighs or my belly or my arms. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. However, there are certain foods, there are certain exercises, there are things that you can do to shed the weight in your lower belly. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Everybody stores fat differently. There's apple-shaped, pear-shaped. There's people like myself. When I was very overweight, I actually carried my weight pretty evenly over my body. It just depends on your genetics, your lifestyle, your diet, and even inflammation. If you suffer from that, that can dictate where fat stores on your body. And like I said, everybody is different. Every body is different. Patience is the key with fat loss. You have to be consistent and you have to have patience. But today I do want to chat a little bit about how to get rid of that lower belly area, or otherwise known as the fupa. Cardio, yoga, crunches, these can really help that lower body area, but like I mentioned, you cannot spot fat reduce. And this isn't going to eliminate all of the fat in your lower belly. The only way to lose fat, to have fat loss, is to be in a calorie deficit. So how do you create a calorie deficit? If we know that this is the only way to lose fat, especially in our lower belly, in our body in general, how do we create a healthy calorie deficit? That's where I come in. I do offer personalized, like I said, macros and calories. This is going to put you in a deficit, let you know how much fat, protein, and carbs you should be eating every day to reach your goal. And what you have to remember is, on average, it takes a deficit of about 3,500 calories to lose 1 pound. So being in a calorie deficit of about 500 calories per day, which is considered healthy, sustainable, this can lead to about 1 pound of fat loss every week. In order to lose more than this, say 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds, that's a pretty extreme deficit, which is unhealthy, unsustainable, and most of the time the weight just comes right back on. So even though we want a fast fix, because that's who we are as humans, it's better to slow and steady, because that's going to win the race and keep the weight off long term. Nobody wants to go through the effort of losing weight just to gain it all back again and repeat that cycle over and over again. So can your diet help you rid lower belly fat? Absolutely, it can help you rid fat overall. Consuming more calories than you burn, that's what leads to fat gain, especially visceral fat. That's the fat that is stored around your organs and is really considered to be the unhealthy fat. Subcutaneous fat is the fat that's stored right under the surface of your skin. It's a little less harmful than visceral fat, but any extra fat on our body can lead to some health consequences. Limiting highly processed foods and really focusing on whole, real food can lead to fat loss. And there are some specific foods that are even better for this. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, and cauliflower, these are fantastic for fat loss. And even more important than these yummy vegetables is protein. Protein is king for fat loss. Protein maintains lean muscle, builds lean muscle, which we want to be doing, especially as we're losing fat. We want to make sure we're not losing lean muscle, and better yet, building a little bit of extra lean muscle to burn calories all day long. Protein is king when it comes to fat loss. Some great sources of protein are hard-boiled eggs, lean meats, beans and legumes, and nuts and seeds. And everything I just shared with you is whole, real food. These are all unprocessed foods, and this is what 80 to 90% of your diet should be made up of. That extra 10 to 20%, that allows you some flexibility to live your life and enjoy foods that maybe don't fall on the healthiest food list. Just remember, no food is bad or good, and we do not restrict or eliminate any foods or food groups. Avoiding energy drinks and sweetened drinks, this can really help you curtail excess calories and allow room in your calorie deficit, in your budget every day of calories, for these good whole real foods that lead to fat loss. Like I mentioned, there are certain exercises that you can do that help with fat loss overall and can target the fat in your lower belly. First and foremost is HIIT, high intensity interval training. Now, I go to boot camp 3 days a week. This is considered HIIT training, high intensity interval training. This means your heart rate goes up, your heart rate comes down, and it repeats throughout your workout. Individuals who went to HIIT training 3 times per week saw double the benefits of those that just went to the gym and walked on the treadmill or did the elliptical for 30 minutes. Each exercise should be done for about 45 seconds. So you're gonna elevate your heart rate for 45 seconds and then bring it back down and repeat that throughout your half of an hour or hour workout. To burn optimal fat, make sure your HIIT workout is done before other exercises. So if you're someone that likes to go to the gym and lift weights, do your high intensity interval training first and then move on to strength training. We also know that cardio is what is touted to burn fat. Yes, cardio is great for fat loss, but strength training is even more important because like I mentioned, the more lean muscle you have on your body, the more calories you're going to burn at rest. So while you're sitting watching TV at night, if you have a decent amount of lean muscle, you're going to be burning calories, which means you get to eat more and still be in a calorie deficit and still see weight loss success. So yes, HIIT training, cardio, important, but strength training is equally important. If you don't know where to start with strength training, you can Google it. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there that show you different strength training moves for beginners, advanced, you name it, there is information out on the internet for you. There are also some lifestyle changes that you can make that will help eliminate fat loss in the lower belly area. Healthy habits generally have a domino effect. Once you start one healthy habit, it just leads to several other healthy habits. And before you know it, you have healthy habits in place that you just do daily without even thinking. So here's some examples of some really great lifestyle changes that help with fat loss. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Add more walking into your routine. Walking is the best exercise for fat loss. Practice mindful eating and try to eat slower. Taking your time when you eat can help keep you from overeating. Quit smoking before you try any kind of calorie restriction plan. Quitting smoking will help make your workouts more fun and effective, not to mention the many other health benefits of quitting. Quitting is often difficult, but a doctor can help you build a cessation plan that's right for you. And last but not least, and really important, is get a good night's sleep whenever possible. Poor sleep increases stress and has been linked to weight gain. So there are some really simple things you can implement into your life, into your day-to-day routine that help with fat loss. Lastly, let's talk a little bit about what causes lower belly fat in both males and females. Now, every sex is different, right? So men are going to store fat differently than women. Men typically store fat in their belly, where women often store fat in places like their hips, their thighs, and their belly. Or in my case, when I was over 300 pounds, I stored a lot of fat in my back. Women tend to store fat in their lower belly for multiple reasons. Things like hormones, genetics, and age can play a part in this, where, like I said, men tend to store fat in their upper belly area, you know, the beer belly. That's typically where men are going to store fat. If you notice, men can look nice and slender from the back, and then when they turn to the side or turn around, you're like, whoa, we got a belly. That is because men typically store fat in that area. So what's the takeaway of today's video? Number one, first and foremost, you cannot fat spot reduce. You're going to have to lose fat over your entire body. But remember, wherever the most excess fat is stored, it's typically going to come off in that area first and a little bit more rapidly than areas where not as much fat is stored. But overall, we want to lose fat over our entire body. But HIIT training, simple lifestyle changes, specific foods that benefit fat loss can really help with that lower belly area for both men and women. Toning and tightening your muscles and building lean muscle is also essential. Again, Google some strength training exercises for beginners, and before you know it, all of these healthy habits will be part of your day-to-day routine. If you enjoyed today's video, and of course, if you found it helpful, give it a big thumbs up. Let us know down in the comments, do you have any tips and tricks to help with lower belly fat? Let us know. We would love to hear them. And of course, check out the description box for nutrition coaching, links and discounts to my favorite healthy things. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.